Hi there, I'm Brittany Giles, your Tech Ambassador with KW of Central PA. This video we're going to go over how to do a listing presentation. Just so you are aware, I'm using a listing presentation packet that I developed in Command. And then I'm going to go over a CMA that I developed in the Bright MLS. And then the listing contract. All right.
Shall we?
Hi, it's nice to meet you, Benjamin Giles.
Nice to meet you too. Oh, it even has my name on it.
Yes,
Awesome.
It's made specially for you.
Cool.
So the first thing that we're going to do is just kind of go over my process, what to expect. I know you're anxious to see numbers on what we think your home might be worth, but we will get there.
Okay.
Just like to kind of give you the roadmap first. Sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect. So again, your needs come first. What is something that is important to you about selling your home? Is there like a big reason why you're looking to sell your home right now?
Yeah, we're just trying to downsize a little bit. The kids are finally in college and we just don't want to take care of this big of a house. We don't want to get a lesser quality house, just maybe not, we're looking to get a ranch.
Got it. Ranch
So,
home.
I guess we would really like to be able to sell this and take that money and use most of that to buy the new home and not really be out a bunch of money.
Perfect. That's great to know. And what would downsizing do for you and your family?
Just make it a more comfortable living. I don't want to clean 2 floors anymore. Everything's on the same floor. We can grow old in the house and not worry about stairs anymore. Maybe a smaller yard.
Less mowing.
Something we don't have to do a whole lot of maintenance, but we can still have fun in.
That's perfect. No, I completely understand that. And I'm glad that you're forward thinking. You know, sometimes people think about the future when it's a little bit too late. So I can completely understand where you're at. Just so I'm on the same page as you, what is something that I could do that would make this process even better for you?
I just don't want to deal with the stress of selling a house. So if I can just rely on you for a stress-free experience, I'm in.
That's good to know. So I can't guarantee that it'll be 100% hassle-free in the sense that every transaction has its own bumps and bruises, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I can guarantee is that I'll be there to make sure it goes as smoothly as possible for you.
Cool.
Here's just a brief overview of what to expect. You know, of course, we did our initial meeting and walkthrough so that way I could get an idea of what your home looked like. Then I went back to my office and I ran some comparables. And what that means is I looked at your home and I looked at within a 3-mile radius of other homes similar to your home and in the same condition, best that I could, so that way I could come up with some price strategies for you.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Once you're ready, we're going to help prepare your property to get staged and for photography and basically for sale. Then I'm going to launch a coming soon marketing campaign, and what that will do is help rise some angst in the market, right? Right now it is a seller's market. So by putting it out there a couple days early, saying, hey, it's coming soon, buyers are going to start contacting their agents. We're going to get all that drummed up before you even go live.
Cool. Is that just like Facebook posts and stuff like that, or?
Facebook posts, and I can also mark it as coming soon in our multi-listing service. And what that does is anybody who has a home search set up that's close to your home, then they're going to get an alert in their email saying, hey, this home that matches your search criteria is going to be listed for sale on Saturday.
Cool. All right.
So it helps them pre-plan to make sure they have time available to come see your house.
Okay.
The more people that see your home, the better chance of you getting a competition going amongst the buyers, which means hopefully more money. More money, yes, exactly. Once we start receiving offers, it's completely up to you how we go about this. I can literally present one offer to you at a time as they come in, or you can say, you know what, Brittany, let's do showings Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you can present all offers to me Monday at 5. So as we get closer to time, you don't have to make that decision right now, but it's completely up to you. I have some sellers who are like, I want to know right away. They just have higher anxiety. It's important to them to know. And then I have other sellers who say, you know what, I want to compare them side by side. I don't want to get phone calls all weekend. I know it's going to be chaotic. Let's go over it one at a time.
Cool. I think it would make me feel good if I just knew that people were seeing the home or like and offers were coming in.
Oh, yes.
Like, I don't need to know what they are. You present them at Monday, like on Monday, that would be great. I just want to know that people are interested.
And you're getting offers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't blame you at all. Once we start getting, or once we meet to go over those offers, that's when we get to negotiate. So I'm going to line your offers up side by side should you have a competitive situation. We're going to go over all of your costs so you know your bottom line for every offer. I'm also going to give you some pros and cons of each offer. You know, sometimes there's different lenders being involved. There's different lending types being involved. Some may have more inspections elected than others. I'm going to give you my guidance on each offer.
All right.
And then at the end, it's still ultimately your decision, whichever offer you choose.
Okay.
Then I'll oversee the appraisal process. I'll keep you up to speed on that. Should there be an appraisal done on your property, that's up to the buyer's lender. I'm going to make sure that I contact the appraiser before they come, give them all the feedback on your home. I'm going to let them know, hey, make sure you realize that this, and this has been updated in a much nicer format, right? I don't want to tee them off. I don't want them to be like, hey, I know how to do my job.
Yeah.
But I just want them to make sure that they know of all your updates so that way we can get you that highest appraisal as possible.
Okay.
All right. Then, of course, I'm going to help you coordinate any other inspections on your home so you know when people are coming in and out of your house. I'll let you know.
Okay, so the inspections, that falls on me?
Nope, inspections fall on the buyer.
Okay, so they plan the inspections, you're just letting me know when they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if for some reason an inspection truly is at a time that's not doable for you, just let me know. We'll work it out. You want to try to be as flexible as possible, just because we want it done as soon as possible, because the buyer has so much time to get that in.
Okay.
And the quicker we can get it done, the quicker we can just get past it.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't want to get in the way of selling my own house.
Exactly. Less reasons for a buyer to walk away and get their deposit back. They will conduct a final walkthrough the day before, day of closing. Basically, they're just going to take one lap through, make sure everything is as expected. If something should happen when you're moving out, let me know. It's better to make a buyer's agent aware ahead of time. You know, if you dinged a wall, best try to patch it or paint it or something like that. But call me, we'll walk you through it. Some things are fine to be left. You know, if you have little pin nail holes in the wall from taking pictures down, that kind of stuff is to be expected. I'm talking more major stuff.
Okay.
All right. And then, of course, we get to the closing table and you make all your money. All right. I have an app that just helps kind of keep you up to date. So there's a seller's guide in that app. So, of course, if you don't have this wonderful packet handy, you can go to your guide and see kind of what's coming up next.
Cool.
You can, of course, use that also to start looking up homes for sale in the areas that you're looking in. And then you can even get real-time stats on your current neighborhood so you can see how other homes are selling, just to give you a better idea on how yours is going to do.
Cool. So I log in. Do you guys give me a login to this app and then it's like personalized to me?
Yep, so I'm going to send this link to you today after we leave. And then when you click the link, you'll just download and then it'll be right there for you.
Awesome.
This just goes over our marketing plan. You can see here that I have a decent chunk. So every morning from 9 to 11, I'm doing what's called lead generation. And basically what that is I'm looking for sellers for my buyers and buyers for my sellers. So oftentimes, even though you're all over the internet, right, we're going to have you on Facebook, you're going to be on the MLS, which means you're going to be on Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, all those major home search sites. Sometimes there's buyers that didn't know that the house that they wanted is for sale, or maybe they didn't even know they wanted a house yet. You know, I'm putting it off in the future. So we're making those calls and say, hey, didn't you tell me that like your favorite neighborhood was this neighborhood? Would you buy right now if that dream home came available? And if they say yes,
maybe my home's their dream home.
Maybe their home is your dream home. Cool. Exactly. Again, this is our strategic promotion, so we're going to do that coming soon campaign. And then once you go live, we'll do a just listed campaign. So we'll do a whole nother advertisement on social media saying, hey, just listed. We'll also do an email blast to my database. as well as post a small video. I just kind of come and go live in front of your home and let people know that, hey, this home's for sale, come check it out. You can schedule your showings now. And then we're going to make sure we send the campaign out through Facebook through a boosted ad. So not only is it just on my page where it's shareable for you, it's also going to be sent to qualified buyers through Facebook. Have you ever heard of like boosted ads and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we use those and we can actually target a small market, so that way it's honed into people that are more likely to be looking for a home in your area. It's in the details. So a couple things that we do is we're going to make sure we have some eye-catching yard signs. I put little lights that are solar powered on the sign, so that way people can still see the sign at nighttime when they're driving by. We are going to make sure we have quality professional photography. I'm sure you've seen the difference between a professional photo and a cell phone photo.
Yeah.
The first time you sell your house is online, 9 times out of 10. Mm-hmm. Whether they're seeing it through an email, on Zillow, Facebook, when they see those photos, that's what sells them. And that gets them in the door. That says, hey, I really want to see that house. I like these photos enough to go inside. If they don't like the photos, they may not even schedule the showing. All right, so we just want to get them in. Just a little bit about me, and just so you have a better idea of how I can work for you. I have sold over 100 homes since my 4 years in the business. The average agent actually sells about 7 per year. So although I haven't been in the business 20 plus years like some realtors in the area, I've done 3 times the experience in a shorter amount of time. So as I mentioned earlier, sometimes we hit a little turbulence through the transaction. I'm an experienced pilot that can get you through that turbulence as safely as possible.
Cool.
Leading the industry, these are just some of basically Keller Williams' values. So for example, win-win or no deal, we always want to make sure that both buyer and seller feel like they want something, right? Everybody's happy when they get to the closing table. I've had a couple people say, well, doesn't that mean less money for me? And no, that's not what it means. But what it does mean is that we're going to try to be as fair as possible. We don't want anyone feeling disgruntled at the closing table. And how that's helped, I've won a lot of respect in the industry. So there's agents who are happy to work with me because they know that I get the transaction done. I'm a fair real estate agent, which means they're more likely to show my listings because they know it's going to be a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Communication, seek first to understand. I'm going to probably over communicate with you throughout this process.
It's not a bad thing.
But I always want you to feel like you understand what's going on. You'll get weekly emails from me letting you know, hey, these are the items we've checked off in your transaction. Plus I'll call you every Monday just to give you any updates. And then should anything arise in between then, I'll give you a call as well.
Okay.
My promise to you is that you're going to feel well taken care of in this transaction. And all I ask in return is if we get to the closing table and you're like, yep, Brittany kept her promise. This was a great experience. She did great for us, worked hard for me. All I ask in return is that you refer your friends and family to me. That's how my business grows. I'm based on referrals. And if you enjoyed your experience and you tell your friends and family, they'll be more likely to trust me because they trust you, hopefully.
Very true. Yeah.
If they don't trust you, maybe... Maybe not. I'm just kidding. If you're worried about safe showings, we have the option to do virtual tours. We can also put instructions in the MLS for agents to wear masks if you'd like. I've had some sellers who wanted gloves to be worn in the home, booties. We can do all of that for you if you'd like to. So just keep me posted on that.
Okay.
Here's how you get in touch with me. Are you ready for the good stuff?
Yes.
All right. So this is the market analysis that I have completed for your home. I mentioned earlier that I looked for comps. So your home was listed at around 1,000 square foot. So I looked at homes for sale in the area that were also around the same square footage. You can see in these front photos that they're also the same style, like build style. And I also tried to keep them around the same number of bedrooms bathrooms, and if they were different, as I flip through here, I made adjustments, okay? Now, when I went into each of these comparables, I read their seller disclosures, I read the listing, I looked at it to try to determine, okay, what's the same and what's different? So how old was the furnace? You know, was it new or old? Because you have a newer central air and furnace. You also have newer windows. So anything that I could dig up on that property to give you the most accurate comparison as possible, I did. And you'll see that I made adjustments here for those things. For example, this home has baseboard hot water. So I made a different adjustment because your home had gas.
Okay.
Okay. And you can just continue to see these adjustments here. Now, what I'll do after this is I'm going to email you the links to these comps as well, so you can see photos.
All right.
You can see here what these homes sold for versus their list price. Keep in mind that most of these homes, and I'll flip back here, most of these homes sold in 2018 and 2019. I try to only go 3 years back, but because it has been such a seller's market, there are less recent comps.
Okay.
So what I did was I did make an adjustment because homes today are worth on average about 6% more than they did just since last year. So if the home sold prior to 2021, we made an adjustment.
So you're automatically adding 6%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Now if the home did sell in 2021, I didn't make that adjustment, but I believe there was only one home that sold this year. So that's probably going to be our best comp just because it sold in this dynamic market.
Okay.
Okay. So we definitely want to give you a price adjustment to make sure that we're not underpricing for the market that we're in. Keep that in mind. We also don't want to overprice. Being competitively priced gets you more buyers in, and then they will bid themselves up.
Okay, because I thought about it being a seller's market, like putting that price up there, but you think people will just turn away?
Well, it just depends on what up there means for you.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, the average price was $177. On the high end, it was $204. Low end was $147. I know for a fact, based on the comps, that you're nowhere near this low end. Okay, this was your floor. There's no way we're beneath this based on condition.
Okay.
Okay. And then as far as high price, in this market, I actually think you could go higher than this. And you can see here, because of this map, it was hard to get comps right around your house. So we had to go a little further out than we would have liked.
Okay.
So I also made an adjustment for that. So I truly believe you could get $215 for this home. What was your high number?
$215.
Well, then we're right on the money.
Well, that just works out.
I love giving good news. There's nothing worse than telling somebody like, I'm so excited, I think I can get you $215, and they're like, I wanted $250.
Yeah, because I was looking at the comps and I was like, well, some of those aren't necessarily as nice of an area as we're in right now. So I was just good. That's great news.
Yes, we made adjustments for all of that. And really, I just think that your home was better than all of the comps that I could find. And that's just how it is in this market. I like to try to find a ceiling, meaning, okay, we know that we can't go higher than this.
Okay.
But because of the age of your home, the age of this neighborhood, it was hard to find that. So I definitely think we're going to be in good shape.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Nothing I can think of right now.
Perfect. This is our listing contract. My info's here, broker's info here. I already have your info inputted here. You'll just put in property address. You don't have to worry about any of this. All right, we're going to send you paperwork to sign electronically on what's going to be included. We'll also have you do what's called a seller's disclosure, which I can send to you through DocuSign, so that way you can fill that out electronically as well.
Okay.
Set some time aside for it when you get it, just kind of quick review it so you know what type of questions it's going to ask. But then you can just get it to me without having to worry about coordinating pickup, drop off, because we have to have that before we can go live.
Okay.
We'll have a start date and an end date. You'll initial and I initial. dual agency. I don't practice dual agency. So if I have a buyer that wants to see this home, I will designate another agent in my office. There's plenty that I know will do well for them, and they will represent my buyer for me, so that way you're always equally represented. I know too much about you and your home that I don't feel comfortable representing a buyer.
Okay. That makes sense.
Broker's duty, by signing this, I am representing you. Okay, so my fiduciary responsibility is for you. Just keep in mind that if anything were to break in the home in a showing, that's not on us legally. Hopefully that realtor who's with their buyer's agent would fess up and let us know and help us pay for it. Hopefully. I just want to be honest with you, because I'd hate to not set the expectation and you be unpleasantly surprised. Although you'll still probably be a little upset.
Yeah.
And of course, call me should anything happen in a showing. You come home and like a door's left unlocked or lights are left on. Let me know so I can try to reach out and figure out who did it, and just nicely say, hey, may not want to do that again. Let me know if you're ever unsatisfied. But in this market, there's a lot of people in and out, so just be aware that sometimes those things do happen. Okay. Do not enter into this agreement if you've already signed an agreement with another agent. Also, don't enter into any leases, so don't rent out the home to anybody who wants to be signing this agreement. Broker's fees are stated here. Cooperation with other brokers. This is how much we will pay out of these fees to a buyer's agent. Keep in mind that's not in addition to your fees. Okay. So you pay us X amount, we split that in half with the agent who brings us the buyer. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Payment doesn't happen until closing, so that just comes out of your proceeds. You don't even have to think about it. And we'll go over that before closing, so you already will have that breakdown of exactly what to expect.
Okay.
All right. Deposit money, we went over that. Additional offers. Once you go under contract, I do not have to present other offers. So if somebody just sends an offer in case this one were to fall through, I don't have to present those. I would probably let you know, just because I like to communicate and be open and honest. Broker services to others. I'm allowed to have other clients. Owner representations. Basically, you're saying I own the property. There's no like bankruptcy on this house, or I haven't back paid taxes. You do have to legally be able to provide a free and clear deed once we get to the closing table.
All right.
Should anything arise that would negate some of this, you would just need to tell me. Okay. Recordings on this property. If you have anything recording video, you do have to let buyers know. You are not allowed to record audio. Recovery fund is there to protect you in case you are misrepresented in a real estate transaction. This phone number is going to be on almost every agreement. Notice to persons offering to sell or rent housing in Pennsylvania. The only color that matters in real estate is green. Conflict of interest. Should there be any conflict of interest, I'll always let you know. For example, like if my brother wanted to buy this house. All right, I would still make sure he was represented by someone else, but because there's still ties there, I have to legally let you know.
Okay.
Marketing of property, we do want it listed on the MLS, so we'll make sure we check that box. You don't have to worry about any of this here, taxes and assessments. We'll be able to pull that through public record for you. Bankruptcy, again, let us know if you're ever going under bankrupt. You can't be going under bankrupt if you're selling the home. And then you would be initialing here, just saying that we went over the consumer notice, which we went over the first time we met when we did the walkthrough tour of the house. You are going to initial saying that, yep, I received the seller property disclosure, which I'm sending electronically. You're going to promise to complete it in the best of your ability before we get to live listing.
Okay.
And then owner has received lead-based paint. You don't have to worry about that one, so don't initial here, because your home is newer than 1976.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions for me?
No, ready to list.
All right, perfect. So once we come up with a price, I will send you a seller's cost sheet breaking down price, your expenses, how much your mortgage payoff is if you can send me that number. That way you know exactly what your net's going to look like if you sell at that price.
All right.
Anytime you get an offer that's different from that list price and your expenses are different, even throughout the transaction, we're going to make sure we give you a new cost sheet. So for example, if your buyer elects inspections and they ask you to fix something, we'll get estimates for those repairs, include them in a seller cost sheet so you know what your new net would be should you decide to fix those.
All right.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you.
And I'll get those documents over to you electronically.
All right, sounds great.
Thanks. All right, well, that was an example of a listing presentation. Sometimes if you can get enough information on a home, you can do the walkthrough and the CMA all together. So maybe the home sold in the last 5 to 10 years, or the seller's able to send you some photos, or they can give you a really good description. You can just use that description to compare homes online. I would definitely do that. If you can come with an already prepared CMA based on either information you discovered, absolutely do it to make it a one-step appointment, especially in this market. You want to get them signed as soon as possible. In this example, what's the word I'm looking for?
Safe route?
I'm just trying to keep this video short for you.
As short as possible. It's not possible to make it super short.
It just isn't. But we based it on as if I went over the consumer notice at the first walkthrough, because you should always go through that the first time you meet with the seller. And then of course you can always send documents for them to sign electronically, but it's helpful to at least bring the listing contract for them to sign in pen so you can get that secured. And then you can have it be their homework to do the seller disclosure, utility sheet, items to convey, anything like that, just to make the process simpler and smoother. And to do that, you can just watch the videos on how to complete and send forms electronically through DocuSign. Good luck.